seen any of his games yet, but he is the leader of the tournament. He's got 5.5 points out of 8. He's in a fantastic stream. He hasn't lost he's lost a game, but he's won 3 games in a row and suddenly is in great shape. He's a big form player. And with Lagrave, it won't be boring. This is Lagrave is on 4 points. He's number 5 at the moment. It's enough to be number 5 to get 5 whites. That's after all what this is all about. It's just to get the good number for the proper tournament that starts tomorrow. A good starting number. And the first 5 numbers have 5 whites. So that's a bit important. What about this? Wesley is he offering a draw? If Lagrave goes back to f5, is he happy with the draw? Is it a psychological maneuver? Oh, Vachier Lagrave wants to win, perhaps. It was a bit confusing with that knight going back and forth and back to h4, but it seems to me that black has won a tempo. And is already countering in the center, which is not that easy to calculate since there is a pawn on b7 and pries. And I wonder what happens if white just takes it. Of course he takes it. Must get some kind of activity for it, but that's hard. That's hard to make such decisions. Now, it was possible to trade queens, but I think the compensation is simply that it's a little bit difficult for white to develop the bishop on c1. But is it that difficult? Can't you just play e4 and go out with it anytime he wants to? So there is a weak square on d3 for there might be a black bishop on d3. Of course, the queen is a little bit awkwardly placed. If you just simply play the e4, it looks natural. I think the queen can go to f3 here, or anywhere actually. Like g4 is possible too. Just go somewhere. Oh, he played knight d5. If that is possible, was it necessary to play that? I'm not sure, because queen f6. To me, it seems like the pawn on b2 might easily fall. I'm not sure about that queen d5 move. Knight d5 move, sorry. But if white's goal is just to hold a draw, makes it a little bit easier. But can't black just take on d5 now and have absolutely no problems? If he takes on d5, I guess he takes back. He takes a couple of times and plays rook b1. He didn't. He took on b1. It seems like Vachier Lagrave is looking for blood here. Which is quite ambitious, because but he got away with it. He snapped the pawn back, and still he can't take on c4 because it will be hanging on f2. And now it's possible to trade off lots of things and take on d5 at the end. And that is perhaps what will happen too. But it will be a draw in the end there, I think. So I'm not sure. I wouldn't say it. Seems like Wesley is quite. What should you say? He needs a draw, and he goes for a draw. But this is actually better for. There is rook d2 coming. Seems like black is better. So maybe he was a little bit too careful there. That's the thing. In blitz, activity is more important than material. Perhaps, I don't know. But I was a little bit suspect about the way Lagrave played in the opening. Now it's a kind of critical thing here, because the king on h3, is that one safe? It might easily be, actually. Hard to see what. Well, rook g1, then it won't be able to return. But there is queen d4 check. He needs to keep it in the center. But queen f6, isn't this just winning the f pawn? If So loses this game, he will still get 5 whites, so it's not that much at stake. He will still be among the first 5. So, but it's tempting to look a little bit towards the other games. It's a little step towards number 6 on the table. That's Mamadiyar and Karan on 3.5 points. This looks close to mate. It wasn't mate directly, but maybe Wesley is actually saving himself, is he? No immediate way to exploit that one. Rook d3, there is rook e3, queen f3, there is queen g3, and if he takes on f2, there is queen e5. Seems like Wesley so has saved himself. The verse is over, it will only be a draw, it seems. I don't think... well, what happens if he just takes on f3 with the queen? Queen e5 and king h6. That king might be safe on h6 actually. But he has to trade on e3 and it will be a 3 against 2 pawn ending, which is a draw. Doesn't matter if it's better for black as long as it's a draw. This is a draw. It's no big way of making a draw by Wesley, not so impressive, nothing big about making a draw this way, but it is still a draw is a draw. So that one is kind of over, it's a draw. I see that Mamadiyar has beaten 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬. No, Mamadiyar has beaten 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬. I kind of feel a little bit sorry for Mamadiyar because of his tooth. So hopefully that helps his mood for playing on and in the tournament tomorrow. And next time we get a chance, we have to ask 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬 when he came to Norway, because I still suspect he's jet-lagged. He was in great form just some days ago in the Chinese league. He won 5 games in a row. And well, we have to look at are there any other games, because we can't follow Lagrave anymore. Magnus has drawn Nakamura. Anand has drawn 2. Have they all drawn? Aronian is playing Karana. Let's see. Okay, we have to look at Karana's game, I think. Karana is still having a proper game. And Karana is yeah, it's over. Karana won against Aronian, which means that Aronian played quite a horrible blitz tournament. He got only 3 points, and one was due to a quite big blunder of Magnus Carlsen, no less. So a big warning sign on Aronian. He won last year the whole tournament, so he has to pull himself together for tomorrow's game. 𝙬𝙬𝙬𝙬 needs to sleep. Karyakin says he's either number 1 or the last in the tournament, and he hoped to be the number 1 this time, but he also needs to pull himself together because it's only 8 in this tournament. And Karana and so let me see. Wesley So won the tournament. He won the blitz. The draw was what he needed. he won with 6 points. Nakamura followed by 5.5. Anand at 5.5. Magnus on 5. And Mamadjaro seems to be ahead on... I'm not sure actually. Some Sonnenberg. There are 3 players on 4.5. Maxime Vachier Lagrave and Corona. And I'm not sure which of them will have 5 whites then. A bit of a disappointing tournament perhaps for Fabiano Caruana, 50% score. Of the big form player these days. He's had some great tournaments, of course, since the candidate, and the Grenka after that. He also won that one, if I remember right. But now he ended up by, well, he won against Aronian in the last game here. But apart from that, he ended up, he lost 3 of his 4 last games. So there are a few question marks here. Is it just because he's bad at blitz because compared to ordinary chess, or is it something about his form going up and down and you never know when he's in form and when he's not? But anyway, this was only the warm-up, nothing serious at stake. We got a few signs, and we see that Anand is still fit for fight, solid as ever, as always. And when he wins a few games, he will perhaps compete in the top here in Altibox Norway Chess in the series tournament, despite being the lowest ranked player actually. So I can see Magnus being interviewed by TV2. He's smiling, seems to be very relaxed. Nothing seems to worry him, which is perhaps a good sign. Sometimes when he's placed at his best, he's kind of in a bubble. It's not possible to talk to him or anything because he's so focused. Now he seems just to be relaxed and in a good mood, and which normally is a good sign for other people, but you never know with Magnus if it's a good sign for his result or not. But at least he's not upset because of that one blunder he did.